and stuff like that. And his style of painting is really straightforward. But I'm going to be making his work. No, I'm going to little historic. It will be an adventure. It's easy. It's a very different. Living my life on it. I've worked with him. He does a lot of illustration work, which he does really well professionally. And we've shown his drawings. I find his illustration work to be where it's it's totally different.
I started painting landscape back when I was in art school. We were assigned the topic of landscape painting, and I felt it really difficult to wrap my head around that. And because Victoria has such a long history of landscape painting, back to Emily Carr and even before that, it's really difficult to find a new and novel way to approach that very time-honored subject. And I was looking through real estate ads, and I found them. It was very interesting how they were presented. A lot of the houses were very banal looking and very common, ordinary. They weren't thought of as very beautiful, and the way they were presented was very straightforward as well. And I thought that was a very interesting way of presenting the landscape. So I started pulling these out of the newspaper, and I used them as source material for painting. And I'd paint them in a very straightforward way, and I would change the color. Because they were black and white, I would add my own color scheme to the paintings. And I felt it was really an interesting way to explore painting in a very abstract way as well. I always feel that there's a lot of abstract underlying these representational subject matter of these paintings, which I find really interesting. And I really like celebrating paint. I think I'm a very painterly painter, so I love moving paint around and exploring the texture. And I started painting on wood because I felt that the wood had a really interesting texture to it and a history, because I would use recycled wood, so wood that was either left over from the construction industry or used for other industrial purposes. So I felt that brought another history to it, and I like the idea of painting a house on discarded wood that actually came from the house building industry. And because the wood had a history of itself with the different textures, that added a lot to the paint as well, just as a substrate as opposed to a canvas. Although I've used other industrial materials before, like Sintra, plastic and polyester as a vellum as a material for painting as well. I find that really interesting as well. So I just love moving the paint around and just exploring all the variations in color and pattern and texture I can get with the paint. So it's been a very valuable experience. I've been doing this probably for about 15 years now. Just keeping on exploring the different ways of depicting landscape, and they're all local, all local houses. And so the houses in this show are all currently for sale. They're all on the multiple listings service, and within the last couple of months. But the owners don't know. The owners have no idea that I've painted their houses. So, which is good, because I don't think I would like them to know. Because I think if you plunk yourself on the boulevard in front of someone's house with an easel and start painting their house, I think you can't help but be influenced by the desire to make their house look prettier than it is. And if the owners come out and see what you're doing and they like it, and you end up painting more for the house owner than you are for yourself. And I think with painting, you really have to give everything over to the painting itself, and not paint for everyone else. That's hard to do. So that's a challenge too.